Namaskar, my dear friends. Welcome to the lecture series of machine design. In our previous video, or the first video of the journal bearing, we will learn about the classification of bearing, types of the bearing, and different types of the lubrication, okay, mode of the lubrication, that is the thick film lubrication, thick film lubrications, okay, hydrodynamic bearing and hydrostatic bearing. Okay. Now, let us, in this lecture, we learn different contents of these lectures are properties of lubricant, terms used in journal bearing, heat generated in bearing, bearing materials, design procedure, and bearing failures. Let us see the properties of lubricants. Okay. So, viscosity. First one is the viscosity. So, it's defined as the internal frictional resistance offered by a fluid to change its shape or relative motion of its parts is called the viscosity. And it is the very important property, and it depends or it affects the performance of the bearing. So viscosity is affect the performance of the bearing, and it is very important property of the bearing. Then second one is the oilness. So what is the oilness? So it is the joint property of the lubricant and the bearing surface in contact. So it is the measure of the lubricating qualities under the boundary conditions where base metal to metal is prevented only by absorbed film. So there is no absolute measure of oilness. Then next is the viscosity index. So the rate of change of viscosity with respect to temperature is indicated by a number and is called the viscosity index. Then flash point. Flash point is what? It is the lowest temperature at which an oil gives off sufficient vapor to support. Lowest temperature at which the oil gives off the sufficient vapor to support. So momentary flash without actually setting fire to the oil when flame is brought within 6 mm at the surface of the oil. Okay, so this is the flash point. Then fire point. So it is the temperature at which an oil gives off sufficient vapor to burn it continuously when ignited. It is called the fire point, or we can say at the temperature when the oil it starts the burning and vapor is formed. Okay, so that is called the fire point. Or and next one is the pour point or freezing point. So it is the lowest temperature at which the oil can flow. It is called the pour point or freezing point. So these are the different properties of the lubricants. Okay, so we should understand about this. Now, the terms used in the hydrodynamic journal bearing. Okay, so you can see here hydrodynamic journal bearing. Okay, so the D is the diameter of the bearing. Okay, so R is the radius of bearing. Small d is the diameter of journal. So this is the journal and bearing. So its radius is small r. L is the length of bearing. Okay. O is the center of journal, and O dash is the center of bearing. Okay. Now let us understand different terminology. First one is the diametral clearance. So it is the difference between the diameters of bearing and the journal. Okay, and it is denoted by C. Okay, so C is equal to D minus capital D minus small d is diametral clearance. Okay, so difference between these two diameter. Okay, difference between diameter of bearing and diameter of journal, and it is denoted by C. Radial clearance. So radial clearance, it is the difference between the radius of bearing and the journal. It is denoted by C1. So C1 is equal to capital R minus small r. So in terms of diameter, we can say D capital D minus small d by 2, because R is equal to D by 2. So therefore, here you know that the D minus D, capital D minus small d, is a C, is diametral clearance. So therefore, we can say radial clearance is equal to diametral clearance by 2. Okay. Then diametral clearance ratio. So it is the ratio of the diametral clearance to the diameter of the journal. Okay. Ratio of the diametral clearance to the diameter of the journal. So diametral clearance ratio is equal to C by small d, where C is equal to capital D minus small d upon small d. This is known as a diametral clearance ratio. Then eccentricity. So eccentricity, it is the radial distance between the center O of the bearing and displaced center O dash of the bearing under load, and it is denoted by E. So here you can see, okay, center of O and the displaced center O dash. So this radial distance is denoted by E, and it is known as a eccentricity. Okay. Then minimum oil film thickness. So minimum oil film thickness, it is the minimum distance between the bearing and journal. Okay? Minimum distance between the bearing and journal. So under complete lubrication condition, and it is denoted by H0 and occurs at the line of centers. Okay, here this H0 is known as the minimum oil film thickness, and it is occurs at the line of center. You can see this line is known as the line of center. So this distance is known as the H0, okay, minimum oil film thickness. So its value, it may be assumed to be C by 4. Okay, C by 4, diametral clearance by 4. Attitude or eccentricity ratio. So it is the ratio of the eccentricity of the radial clearance. It is the ratio of the eccentricity to the radial clearance. So it is noted by epsilon. So epsilon is equal to E by C1. C1 is the radial clearance. Now we know that the E is what? C1 minus H0. E is C1 minus H0 upon C1. So 1 minus H0 by C1. Okay. Or we know that the C1 is equal to C by 2. So therefore, attitude or the eccentricity ratio is equal to 1 minus 2H0 by C. Okay. 1 minus 2H0 by C. Then next one is the short and long bearing. Okay, short and long bearing. So if the ratio of the length to the diameter of the journal, that is the L by D, the ratio of length to the diameter of the journal is less than 1, okay, then this bearing is said to be a short bearing. That means if the diameter is greater than its length, the diameter is greater than its length, or we can say length is less than diameter, then it is known as a short bearing. Or on the other hand, if L by D is greater than 1, means that the length is greater than its journal diameter, okay, then this bearing is known as a long bearing. Okay. Now, the next one is the bearing characteristics number and bearing modulus for the journal bearing, or we can say it is known as the Mackey's investigation. Okay? Mackey's investigation. So we know that in hydrodynamic bearing, initially the journal is at rest and there is no relative motion and no hydrodynamic field. Okay? So therefore there is a metal to metal contact between the surface of the journal and the bearing. Now as the journal starts to rotate, it takes some time for the hydrodynamic field to build sufficient pressure in the clearance space. Okay. So during this period, there is a partial metal to metal contact and a partial lubricant film. Okay, partial lubrication film. So this is thin film lubrication. It is known as a thin film lubrication. Now, as the speed is increased more and more, lubricant is forced into the wedge shape clearance space and the sufficient pressure is built up. Okay, sufficient pressure is built up. So it's separating the surface of the journal and the bearing. So this is the thick film lubrication. So therefore, there is a transition from thin film lubrication to a thick film lubrication. Okay, at the speed increases. Okay. So the transition from this thin film lubrication to the thick film lubrication, it can be better visualized by a means of curve that is known as the Zn or the mu n by p curve. Zn by p curve. Okay. Or you can see this is the coefficient of friction. Mu is the coefficient of friction. Okay, and the value of this coefficient of friction is depends upon this three variable, that is the Zn by P is known as the bearing characteristics number, D by C and L by D. Okay, so Z is the absolute viscosity of the lubricants in kg per meter per second, kg per meter into second. N is the speed of the journal in RPM. P is the bearing pressure on the projected bearing area and is equal to load on the journal divided by L by D. D is the diameter of the journal, L is the length of bearing and C is the diametral clearance. Okay. So this curve is an experimental curve is developed by the Mackey brothers. That's why it is known as the Mackey's investigation. Okay. So this bearing characteristics number is a dimensionless group of parameter. Okay. So it is given by the characteristics number, that is the Zn by P. Okay. So this number is known as a bearing characteristics number. Okay. And here this Z, we know that it is the absolute viscosity of lubricants. The N is the speed and P is the unit bearing pressure, right? So this bearing characteristics number is plotted on this abscissa. Okay, so it is plotted on this abscissa and the coefficient of friction mu is plotted on this coordinate. Okay, so this coefficient of friction is the ratio of tangential frictional force to the radial load acting on the bearing. Okay. So there are two distinct part of this curve. Okay, there are two distinct part of this curve, and which two parts? Okay, one part is this here to S to A, okay, and another part is the Q to P. There are two parts. Okay, one is the S to A and another is the Q to P. So these two parts are there. Now in the region of this. Okay, in the region of this S into A, okay, in this region, the partial metal to metal contact and the partial patches of the lubricant. So this is the condition of the thin film or the boundary lubrication. Okay, so here it is unstable in this portion. There is a thin film or boundary lubrication. Okay, so unstable condition, right? So in this region, that is in region between R to A. Okay, so there is a relatively thick film of lubricants and the hydrodynamic lubricants take place here. Okay, and in this portion, that is Q2P, is a dividing line between these two modes of the lubrication, and this region to the left of this line is the thin film or the zero film, while the region, okay, region of this right to the line is the thick film lubrication. So this is the thick film lubrication and this is a thin film, and this intermediate portion is a partial lubrication. So it is observed that the coefficient of friction is minimum. Okay, the coefficient of friction is minimum at here, at this point A. Okay, coefficient of friction is minimum at or at the transition between the two modes. Okay, so the value of this bearing characteristics number corresponding to the minimum coefficient is called the bearing modulus. So this K is known as the bearing modulus. Okay, this bearing, it should be operated near at this critical value K. Okay, the bearing is operated at the critical value of K at this point A. Okay, so a slight drop in the speed, okay, at this point the slight drop in the speed or at a slight increase in the load, slight drop in the speed or the slight increase in the load, it will reduce the value of this coefficient Zn by P or the bearing characteristic number. So it's resulting in the boundary lubrication. Okay, તો તમને કહું કે જ્યારે સ્પીડ વધે, ઓકે સોરી, સ્પીડની વેલ્યુ છે એ જ્યારે ઘટે અને પ્રેશરની વેલ્યુ જ્યારે વધે છે ત્યારે આ જે વેલ્યુ છે આની આ વેલ્યુમાં ઘટાડો થાય છે અને એના કારણે boundary lubrication થાય છે. Okay, so the guidelines for this hydrodynamic lubrications are, some guidelines are there. So in order to avoid the seizure, the operating value of the bearing characteristics number, it should be at least 5 to 6 times that when the coefficient of friction is minimum. Okay, that is the 5K to 6K or 5 to 6 times the bearing modulus. If the bearing is subjected to the fluctuating load or the impact condition, the operating value of bearing characteristics number, it should be at least 15 times that when the coefficient of friction is minimum. Okay, once again, if the bearing is subjected to the fluctuating load, જ્યારે bearing પર fluctuating load અથવા તો impact load લાગતો હોય ત્યારે એ જે bearing characteristics ની જે value છે એ at least 15 times when the coefficient of friction is minimum, એટલે કે 15K or 15 times the bearing modulus એટલું હોવું જોઈએ. It is observed that when this bearing characteristics curve or this curve, when the viscosity of the lubricant is very low, the value of the Zn by P parameter will be low and the boundary lubrication will result. So therefore, if the viscosity of the lubricant is very low, then the lubricant will not separate the surface of the journal and the bearing and metal to metal contact will occur. So resulting in excessive wear at the contact surfaces. Okay. So this bearing characteristics, this curve is important because it defines the stability of hydrodynamic journal bearing and it helps to visualize the transition form, okay, from boundary lubrication to thick film lubrication. So it is very important curve and this is very important from the exam point of view. Okay, so frequently this question will be asked, bearing characteristics number, okay, and whatsoever is there. So this is the bearing characteristics number. Then value of the coefficient of friction. Okay, so that value of the coefficient of friction you can find this mu is equal to 33 by 10 raised to 8 Zn by P into D by C plus K. Okay, so where Z is in kg per meter second and P is in Newton per millimeter square. Okay, so this factor K, okay, is with correct for end leakage. So it depends upon the ratio of length to diameter of the bearing. So this factor K is known as the correct for end leakage, and it depends upon the L by D ratio. And the value of this K is generally taken as 0.002 for L by D ratio of 0.75 to 2.8. Now, critical pressure of the journal bearing. So the pressure at which the oil film breaks down so that the metal to metal contact begins is known as critical pressure or the minimum operating pressure of the bearing. Okay, જે સમયે જ્યાં ઓઇલ ફિલ્મ બ્રેક થાય છે અને બંને વચ્ચે મેટલ ટુ મેટલ કોન્ટેક્ટ થાય ત્યારે એ જે પ્રેશર છે that pressure is known as critical pressure, and that critical pressure is given by the equation P is equal to Zn by 4.75 into 10 raised to 6 into D by C square into L upon D plus L Newton per millimeter square. This is a critical pressure. Then one more dimensionless number is known as the Sommerfeld number. Okay, so is also a dimensional parameter used extensively in the design of journal bearing, and the Sommerfeld number. Okay, so Sommerfeld number is given by this equation Zn by P D by C square. This value is known as the Sommerfeld number. So for design purpose, its value is equal to 14.3 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, value of Sommerfeld number is taken as 14.3 into 10 raised to 6. Now, heat generated in a journal bearing. So as we know that when the two bearings are in contact and when there is a relative motion between the two bearings, so sometimes due to the metal to metal contact, there is due to the wear and due to the friction between this fluid friction. Okay, so there is a heat may be generated, and the value of the heat generated is given by the equation Qg. Qg is equal to mu into W into V. Newton meter per second, or we can say joule per second or watt. Okay, so heat generated is mu WV watt or joule per second, where in this mu is coefficient of friction, W is the load on the bearing in Newton, so is equal to load is equal to pressure on the bearing in Newton per millimeter square into projected area of the bearing in mm square. So pressure is P and projected area is equal to L into D. Okay, V is the rubbing velocity in meter per second, and V is given by pi d n by 60, where D is in meter, okay, and B is speed of the journal in revolution per minute. Okay, so heat generated you can find from this equation Qg. Now heat dissipated by the bearing. So it is necessary whatever the heat generated, it should be dissipated, okay, into the atmosphere. So that heat dissipation, okay, Qd is given by the equation, okay, Qd is equal to C into A Tb minus Ta, joule per second or watt, where C is the heat dissipation coefficient in watt per meter square per degree centigrade. A is the projected area of the bearing. Okay, Tb is the temperature of the bearing surface in degree centigrade, and Ta is the temperature of the surrounding air. Okay, so TB is the temperature of the bearing surface and TA is the temperature of the surrounding air. The average value of this C, okay, for unventilated bearing, the C is 140 to 420 watt per meter square per degree centigrade, and for the well ventilated bearing, the value of C is 490 to 1400 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. So always this QG is equal to QD. बराबर છે કે જેટલી હીટ જનરેટ થાય છે એટલી ડિસિપેટ થવી જોઈએ. તો QG ની વેલ્યુ છે એ QD જેટલી લેવામાં આવે છે. Now bearing material. Okay, so there are some properties or the good bearing material. What are the desired properties of the good bearing materials are? So when metal to metal contact occurs, the bearing material, it should not damage the surface of the journal and it should not stick or weld to the journal surface. It should have high compressive strength to withstand the high pressure without distortion. In certain applications like connecting rod or crankshaft, okay, bearing are subjected to the fluctuating stresses, and the bearing material in these applications should have sufficient endurance strength to avoid failure due to the heating. The bearing material should have the ability to yield and adopt its shape to that of the journal. So this property is called conformability. When load is applied, the journal is deflected, resulting in contact at the edges. So conformable material adjusts its shape under these circumstances. The dot particles in lubricating oil, it tends to jam in the clearance space, and if hard, it may cut scratches on the surface of the journal and bearing. So the bearing material should be soft to allow this particle to get embedded in the lining and avoid the further trouble. So this property of the bearing material is called the embeddability. And some applications like engine bearing. So excessive temperature is caused the oxidation of lubricating oil and it forms the corrosive acid. So this bearing material should have sufficient corrosion resistance under this condition. And the last, the bearing material should have reasonable cost and should be easily available in the market. So these are the required properties of the bearing material. Now, design procedure for journal bearing. Okay. So first of all, you have to determine the bearing length by choosing the ratio L by D from a given table, from the standard table or the design data. Then next one is to check the bearing pressure. P is equal to W upon L by D from the table for probable satisfactory value. Then assume a lubricants from table and its operating temperature T0. This temperature, it should be between 26.5 degrees centigrade and 60 degrees centigrade, with 82 degrees centigrade as the maximum for high temperature installation such as the steam turbine. Then determine the operating value of Zn by P for the assumed bearing temperature and check this value with corresponding value in table. So to determine the possibility of maintaining the fluid film operation and assume a clearance ratio C by D from table. Then next step is to determine the coefficient of friction mu by using the relation as discussed earlier, the equation of the mu. Then determine the heat generated by using the relation, okay, of Qg. Then determine the heat dissipated, okay, Qd, by using the relation, and then determine the thermal equilibrium to see that the heat dissipated becomes at least equal to the heat generated. So in case the heat generated is more than the heat dissipated, then either the bearing is redesigned or it is artificially cooled by a water. Okay, એટલે કે જેટલું heat generate થાય છે એટલી heat dissipate minimum થવી જોઈએ, નહીં તો શું થાય કે બેરિંગને આપણે રીડિઝાઇન કરવી પડે અથવા તેના માટે આપણે એક્સ્ટ્રા કુલિંગ ફેસિલિટી પ્રોવાઈડ કરવી પડે. તો આ એના પ્રોસિજર છે. નાઉ bearing failure. So generally the bearing failures, general bearing failures are mainly associated with insufficient lubricant, contamination of lubricant and faulty assembly. Okay. So there are 4 principal types of the failures: abrasive wear, wiping of bearing surface, corrosion and distortion. Now let us see first is the abrasive wear. So abrasive wear on the surface of bearing is common type of bead failure. So it is in form of scratches in the direction of motion open within the embedded particles. So this abrasive wear, it occurs when the lubricating oil is contaminated with the foreign particles like rust or the spatter. So proper enclosures of bearing and the cleanness of these lubricants, okay, and use of the high viscosity oil are some of the against this type of the wear. Okay. Then next one is that wiping of the bearing surfaces. So when this rotating journal, it touches the bearing, and that an excessive rubbing occurs, so resulting in melting and smearing of the surface of bearing. So this type of the failure is in the form of surface melting and flow of bearing material. Okay. So the main cause of this type of wears are inadequate clearance, excessive transient load and insufficient oil supply. Okay. So the remedy is to keep these factors under control. Then corrosion. So the corrosion of bearing, what is bearing surface is caused by the chemical attacks of the segment that are present in the lubricating oil. Okay. So these oxidation products, okay, which control the materials such as lead, copper, cadmium and zinc. So this lead reacts rapidly with all the foreign agents. So the remedy is to use the oxidation inhibitors to additive in the lubricating oil. And the distortion is due to the misalignment and incorrect type of the fits are the major source of this distortion. Okay. So proper alignment is required. So let me stop here. Thank you very much, friends.